I'm super excited to be here today. I think it's my fifth MAMA event this year around the globe. And I would like to say hats off to the AppsFlyer North American marketing team. You really nailed it with this amazing audience, amazing venue, and certainly the best view I ever had as a speaker. I want to talk with you here today about mobile in 25, about marketing in 25. I want to take you on a journey down the road and explore how to navigate the marketing landscape and accelerate your success in the year to come. But maybe something about me before we start. Prior to joining AppsFlyer, I was actually sitting on your side of the stage. I sat where you are on the driver's seat of a mobile app, being a founder and CEO of a mobile app company between 2013 and 2019. And in these years, I had the privilege and responsibility that you have now, riding and navigating my app through an ever-changing and unpredictable road. And indeed, the road was, sometimes rainy. There were times I had to make quick decisions, adapt to sudden changes, and that's exactly why I truly appreciate and admire each one of you here in the audience, driving your own apps through the store, making the right moves, keeping your eyes on the road. I know how tough it can be. Just take a look at this single sign above me and think how much change only that single side has brought to our mutual life. Remember when iOS 14 was released in September 2020? In the past few years, the marketing landscape has changed dramatically. More and more such signs were added to our mutual road. COVID, global recession, SDK runtime, privacy relay, sandbox, and others. These are all these sharp turns that we all experience in our road. And new signs keep on coming. Tech is changing, ad networks, platforms, regulation, end users' expectations, CEOs' expectations. Everything is changing. So in such a dynamic environment, what really differs a great marketer from a good one? The good news is that we have an answer. And luckily, it's not just my personal opinion. We in AppsFlyer are fortunate to work with over 100,000 apps live currently right now on the different app stores across all geos, across all verticals. Actually, more than 60% of the apps in the world that choose to work with an MMP are choosing AppsFlyer. So what you're about to see in the next few minutes is based on the wisdom of the crowd, based on what we've learned that is working or not working for the marketers we work with, for the apps we work with. But before going into the details, I want to share with you what truly separates the great marketers from the rest, and that's the mindset. The mindset when reaching to such new road signs or new bumps in the road. The best marketers don't just cope with these challenges, they actually use them for their advantage. So if a platform changes its algorithm or a new privacy law is introduced, the quick movers quickly figure out how to leverage these changes and actually even end up in a stronger position. These obstacles are actually your opportunities to grow. Use them, just like jumping over a speed bump to take off, because otherwise you're not gonna meet a very good reality from the other side of the bump. So now let's see where the road is taking us. What are the 5 top marketing trends of 2025? Trend number 1, loss of identifiers and signals led by privacy changes, by networks, by platforms, by regulations. What started 10 years ago with GDPR and CCPA continued with iOS 14. Now also Android is joining the party and probably web. We already live in a reality where 80% of iOS devices or users opt out from tracking, where there is 50% decrease in deterministic signals, and CPAs increased in 20% due to inefficiencies related directly or indirectly to the loss of signals. Trend number 2, Brian and Jennifer mentioned that as well. We live in an omni-channel era, in a multi-platform era. In the last 5 years, the number of devices used by an average American grew from 8 devices to 13 devices. Actually, 75% of app users, mobile app users, were found to switch between devices during their customer journey. That's almost all app users. And when end user behavior is changing so dramatically, it means new challenges, but of course also new opportunities for all of you. Trend number 3, a trend we see in AppsFlyer very strong in the last year. Guys, everything is an ad network, literally everything. Retail media networks are expected to grow 20% in revenue year over year, expected to hit $160 billion revenue in 27. More than that, half of mobile marketers said that they've increased their spend on non-traditional channels such as retail media or OTT just in the last year. Look above me, how many new retail media networks were introduced just in the last year. I'm happy to say that more and more brands look holistically on their growth loop. Eventually, ROAS and LTV are highly correlated to each other. Marketing, product, and monetization teams must work better together. And we see in our data that companies that align UA, retention, and monetization see 2 times higher ROI. And lastly, the last trend to what is expected to be the most dominant trend of the year, the most dominant trend of our generation, probably the biggest technology revolution of our lifetime. 25 is the year of AI, the year of Gen AI. And I'm happy to say that 70% of the marketers are already leveraging AI for their creative generation. The graph you see here, I think, is nothing short of a revolution. 80% growth in the numbers, listen to this number, 80% growth in the number of creative variations generated by mobile apps in just 1 year. Almost double the number of creatives in just 1 year. That's a completely different ball game. But of course, it's not just creative. I think every month, or you know what, every week, we see a new flow in marketing conquered by AI, and it's not going to stop. It's just going to accelerate. So now, as we understand where the road is taking us, let's shift gears and see, based on our data, based on these 100,000 apps working with us, what are these 8 golden tips that transform a good marketer to a great one, because sticking to 24 techniques is not going to be enough for 25. And as I think Brian showed you earlier, 56% of you, unfortunately, said that you have much more aggressive KPIs in the year to come. So let's see what is the checklist you need to follow to really hit these aggressive KPIs. And this one is not coincidentally the first one I want to show you, because all the rest is meaningless without it. You must have one holistic measurement reality, even in the privacy era. When identifiers are lost, you cannot allow yourself not to get the most out of any available signal. Platform-based measurement with scan and sandbox excellence. Probabilistic modeling to overcome signal loss and compensate on that. Specific solutions towards Meta, Google, TikTok, Snap, Twitter, Roku, and others. Each of them now has a different approach. You must ensure your MMP gets the most out of any of these proprietary solutions. Privacy-enhancing technology, or PETs, to maximize the data accuracy and data granularity while still being aligned to all privacy regulations. But a fact that you have all these solutions in place is not enough. Actually, it creates for all of you a new problem of fragmented and siloed reality. Which data should you trust now? Scan, privacy, sandbox, deterministic, probabilistic, aggregated, device level. That's why single source of truth concept is needed. Ensure that you have a single source of truth or SSOT to group everything to one reality. That you dedupe your SRN data from your scan data from classic MMP data. That you combine last click with incrementality for one reality. And of course, that you clean fraud for clean decision making in your marketing stack, even in a reality without identifiers. And the numbers talk for themselves when we look at apps using our SSOT layer. These apps see enormous decrease in CPI, growth in revenue, 40% lower CPIs is something you certainly don't want to miss. And that's why we're already working on the next generation of our SSOT solution, SSOT 2.0. This new version will embed also privacy sandbox signals, incrementality signals to create one SSOT layer from even more sources of data for all of you. Tip number 2, let's talk about the end user journey. As a great marketer, you want to create the best flows that bring the best users to your app. You must look holistically at the entire journey from the ad to the store and then inside the app. If I may even go off script for a minute, I really recommend you to leverage Apple CPP, custom product pages, or Google CSL if you're not using it. It enables to deliver different experience in the store to different cohorts of users based on our data. Two things based on our data. Not enough apps are using it, and the ones that do see amazing growth. So please explore that. But on top of that, ensure that your web to app, CTV to app, actually any other multi-platform experience works in an optimal way for your users. And you know what? It's not just about bringing users to your mobile app, right? Most of you here have other digital assets. So ensure all your measurement flows are covered so you take the best holistic decisions for your brand, including for your CTV, PC, web, console, and others. Measure your LTV holistically. So even if users convert on one platform and purchase on the other, you maximize your growth in the omni-channel era. Number 3, great marketers in 25 must overcome the challenge of finding the best users for their app. First, as we just said, by finding them even outside of mobile. Some of your best users are actually your best mobile users are actually spending their time on other platforms. And today, luckily, there are great performance-based ways to target them with ROI and in scale. That's why more and more of our customers are using our engagement suite to convert these users from other platforms to mobile with much better conversion rates. And additionally, a very, very exciting trend we see more and more, advertisers enriching their first-party data with the data of retail media networks. When this is done with privacy-first technologies, these data magics can help you optimize targeting like never before. And I call it data magics because, for example, when Walt embedded our data collaboration platform for their retail media business, the brands that advertise with them saw an amazing uplift in ROAS, CTR, and category share, uplift never seen before thanks to the fact that data can be enriched from both sides and, of course, with privacy in mind. Number 4, in today's reality, creative is the name of the game. Top of the funnel has never been so important. That's why you must analyze your creatives in a cross-network and full lifetime cycle. You cannot analyze your creative siloed per ad network or per ad format or only the ICM metrics. Eventually, each creative is built out of dozens of different elements. Leverage AI to analyze each of them independently and then connect these AI insights to your Gen AI creative factory, so you really have a full AI cycle that analyzes, optimizes, and generates new creatives for you. And for that reason, we've delivered in the last year our full-blown creative optimization product. I call it full-blown because it analyzes each of the elements, recommends you the right next step, and then connects these insights with your Gen AI, and then you create much more variations, take better creative decisions in real time and in scale. Number 5, go wide and go deep. What does it mean? You need to ensure that your marketing strategy has a healthy diversity across platforms, across app stores, across different audiences, across different networks. You must open the funnel because what works for you today might not work for you tomorrow. What didn't work yesterday might be actually your next growth engine. But going wide is not enough. You need also to go deep. Each channel has different parameters, different levers you need to control, different bidding strategies, different targeting strategies. Some of them are more keyword dependent, like Apple Search Ads, some not. Some of them are more black box, while some actually enable you to configure things per publisher site. Each channel requires pressing on different buttons, and it might sound contradicting, but it actually complements each other. Go wide and go deep. The great marketers find the right balance between both of them that works for their business. And for that, I would really recommend you to leverage our performance index, the one we release twice a year since 2015, to learn from apps like you what works for them opening the funnel. As I said before, in 25, it's not just about the marketing teams making the best ROAS decisions and the product teams make the best LTV decisions. It's making the best decisions as a whole. Even if marketing teams, and we see it every day, even if marketing teams are making the ROAS decisions perfectly and product teams making their LTV decisions perfectly, these are just two local maximums that don't necessarily create the one global maximum for your business. And more executives, including CEOs, know that and expect that from their product and marketing team. That's why from our end, we keep improving our analytics suite to ensure all your data is presented to you across all dimensions for all the teams in your organization. We've added recently the option to compare results between different periods of time, embedded an AI chat to answer any question you have about your marketing campaign data, conditional formatting to identify anomalies in your data, seeing multiple metrics, marketing and product in one chart, and enable you to customize all dimensions and all dashboards as you wish for your needs. We're reaching towards the end with tip number 7, and you don't really need me to tell you that. Build your marketing stack as a full AI stack. You simply have no other choice if you want to remain relevant. We've already seen how AppsFlyer leverages AI to help you with your creative, to overcome signal loss, to go both wide and deep. But it's not only that. It's really across the board for all marketing angles. Maybe one additional example is our new AI ad fraud protection layer. Thanks to AI, it's much harder for fraudsters to adapt themselves to these new protection layers, and eventually you're protected for a longer time. And the last tip, leverage the wisdom of the crowd, and see what an amazing crowd we have here today. Sorry for still not being able to take an image of you, because we also have great wisdom of the crowd in India or Thailand. But we have here people, each of you here succeeded a lot, failed a lot, learned a lot from the process. So the good news is that we can tell you that there are strategies that really work. You just need to find the ones that work best for you and also learn from each other, and that's part of the reasons for today's exciting event. So, what have we seen here today? Pay attention to all the new road signs on your way, a world with less signals and identifiers, where the journey of the users is built of many devices. Everything is an ad network, ROAS and LTV combined together, everything fueled by AI, because we've seen that the ones that really know how to navigate these road signs, and it starts with one measurement reality, ends with adapting to the changes and everything in the middle. I don't want to repeat everything, but for your convenience, I still decided to put everything in one slide. I know it's a good photo opportunity. Because if you adapt to these 8 tips, believe me, your road to success in 25 is guaranteed. I can guarantee you that our 500 engineers and product people in AppsFlyer will keep delivering new products to ensure that you get the most out of this opportunity and really can take off out of each of these bumps in the road. And just before I leave the stage, I really invite you to scan this QR code and write me directly if you agree with these trends, or even more important, if you disagree with these trends or have any questions about AppsFlyer's suite of product and how we can help you navigate your road to growth in 25. And I would like to end with wishing you an amazing 2025 ahead. And I think the most important thing is that don't forget also to enjoy the road. Thank you very much.